We've got a big pile of printers, but today it's Mark IV time. Happy printing! Do you get Haribos? Oh yeah! We've got a steel sheet, another steel sheet, and another steel sheet. Prusa and accessories. Nice. Oh, it already printed something on its way here. There's a door thing for the extruder. Hello, it wants to guide me. Alright. This is not... Okay. Self-test. Should I perhaps take this print off first? Self-test. The fan is spinning. They're both spinning. Changing gears. Even faster. It's got a load cell. I'll be tapping the nozzle. Did it work? Yes. I'm an expert nozzle tapper. It's hitting its head on the wall. Okay, more hitting. More stuff. We're heating up. 290 for the nozzle and 110 for the bed. There's the bed light. Got a bit of filament coming out. It's very quiet. I mean, it's not moving, but at least the fans are very quiet. Right now, we need to start without the filament. I guess we unload it. PLA. We've got a progress bar. Nothing's moving. Maybe I just pull it out? No. We've got a progress bar waiting for temperature. Ooh. It was so fast. But I can't pull it out. Oh. Now it's out. Is filament in the filament sensor? No, you just told me to take it out. Insert the filament. Now you want me to put it back? Okay. There you go. See, it found it. Remove the filament. Good. Filament sensor calibrated. Everything's green. What do I do? Oh, we scroll through the list. Ethernet cable not plugged in. Wi-Fi connection. Alright, I guess it's just informing me. Happy printing! No USB. We've got a USB thing. Very shiny. Guess we insert it here. It's thinking. It's a spatula. I like to print it, but don't we need filament first? And a filament hanging thing? Let's check here. There's stuff. More stuff. Spool holder. Do I put it here? Anywhere? Filament guide add-on with screws and stuff. Looks complex. Let's print. I probably need some filament. Prusa Galaxy Black. From 2023, and we can scan it to see the graph. Looks very organized. Left side is the lucky side. It's loading it automatically. PLA, downloading filament, is moving. Hello. Is color correct? No, it's not correct. You barely pushed it out. Purge more. And more. Can I print it now? Maybe I should clean it up a bit. My orange sprayer is defective. It just looks a bit dusty. I don't want it dusty. Alright, let's print it. Oh, I keep forgetting this is not a touch screen. Is there a way to make it a touch screen? RGB status bar. Save crash dump. Nah, maybe there isn't. Print. Spatula. Loading. Printed. 45 minutes. We can tune it. We've got lights. Descending, descending, descending. It's doing some things. Nozzle cleaning. Well, let's clean the nozzle cleaning. Looks like we're probing the bed, only in the area where it prints. My table is a bit shaky. We're hitting. Looks like the first layer will be perfect, as expected. We've got a new drawing with a vertical progress bar. Yeah. Here's the spatula. What happens if I fool around with this? It doesn't notice, does it? You know what, maybe I shouldn't touch it much. I like it that it's fully assembled. And by the way, Prusa sent it to me free of charge, just so you know. There's no money involved, but there's a printer. Back when I purchased my Prusa Mark III's, they came as a kit, and while it was fun to assemble everything and learn how everything works, at least mechanically, it does take a lot of time, and I'm happy that this one is pre-assembled. I see some changes into how the printed parts are designed. There's of course the large screen with the 3 LEDs. I wonder if they change color. The power supply is now black, this is metal, and we've got a little bit of a print at the bottom. I suppose the extruder is the biggest change with the pancake motor, and I said I wouldn't touch it. The motor is actually at the back, don't touch it. We've got metal here for the electronics box, and we're switching gears to the second layer. It's not mind-blowingly fast, but it seems to be doing the job perfectly. While my table is unstable, the plant likes the shaking. Let me lock the wheels at least. We're gonna move it to a more stable place later. I lost the audio for this part, but the print came out great. And the surface finish from the PI sheet is very smooth and sharp. Alright, let's figure out this spool holder thing. There's a link. We need some tools. I have to insert this here. Looks like PTFE tubing. Hex nuts! I don't remember what these are for. Maybe they're extra. It's supposed to go here. And now if I take the filament out, unload. Has to preheat 21%. And now we take the filament through this hole, so it's guided. And I can park it here, because I want to print with something else. We've got a bunch of tools. There's no place to place them, so I guess I'll just keep them in this box. Let's pick another parchment. I've got this brown. This is a blend. Let's try this one. Looks fancy. Let's load it here. Let's observe the filament load. It's PLA. Downloading. Yes, we need more purge. There's always more purge. That's better. Nice print. And you know what? Let's swap the plate. We've seen the smooth one. I've got another smooth one, a textured one, and a satin one. And let's try this one. Clean only when cold. Sure. We've got a little bit of texture. Let's find another pre-sliced model. A Robo Alpaca. 8 hours. Do you have something else? A rocket engine. Looks like a rocket engine. 13 hours. Let's go. Descending, descending. It's done that nozzle cleaning thing. I suppose it cleans the nozzle here because it knows the print is small and doesn't reach there. I hope. Print will end Wednesday. I mean, it doesn't know what day is today. So we are measuring a larger area, which tells me that this is a bigger print. The printed parts on the printer look like they've been printed in a rush. We're heating up the engine. What's that? It's drawing. I don't know. Maybe this will be cleaned. Are we priming? Alright. I'm gonna have to get used to this prime line. Seems effective. Oh, we're making a circle, guys. It's a perfect circle. It's a thick circle. I can see the dots from the meshing. Can you see them? Like here and there. Like it's a dot matrix. Well, this is gonna be a big rocket engine. Found another checklist by Joseph himself. Okay, everything's great. Circles. We finish tomorrow. But guys, we're supposed to use this filament guide, remember? You forget about it already? Guess we'll use it next time. A bit later. And almost finished. 83%. 2 hours left. And it's finished. Looks like an efficient rocket engine, although I'm not sure we could get to Mars with it. Here are some details. This is the seam. We've got some overhangs here. This one looks like a weird slicing choice. Here's the first layer on the satin plate. And now I think we should install this in a proper location. Oh, it barely fits. Alright, much better. This is also more sturdy. Now let's see about the Wi-Fi. Is it Wi-Fi or Wi-Fi? Setup. I guess we need to create credentials. And we've got a file on the card. We need a network password. And now do I load credentials? Success! But it says to wait. Do we have an IP? Where's the IP? Turns out I had the wrong password. It could have just said so. I don't wanna see the last file. Success! But if nothing happens, there's this icon here. But what do? Do I just wait? I guess we wait. It could have just asked me for network and password, or use the phone for that. Like, I feel stupid sitting here. I have no idea if I did something wrong. It's like a puzzle. I don't want a puzzle. Well, it's been 20 minutes. We still don't have an IP. I did double check the network and password. Do we actually even have the ESP at the back? Should be here. It is here. Feels a bit flimsy. Well, I did search randomly online, couldn't figure out what it is. The wireless network connectivity is new in this iteration of the printer, yet the process seems outdated and is not really working for me at all. It doesn't even say was not working, so I have no idea how to fix it. I guess I'll be traveling with a memory stick. Anyways, let's try input shaping, because nowadays a lot of printers use it. It is a pre-release, but I want to try it out. Alright, fingers crossed. It's happening. It's not happening. Guys, how do we update the firmware? Let's turn it off and back on again. New firmware. Flashing. I've got another spool of Prusa. Let's load it here while it's uploading. Here's the guide. Updating bootloader. Well, it's installing something. You really like this spatula, don't you? Input shaper. And I found this model by Mint. I mean, this is not really for FDM, but let's try it. And for the input shaper, We've got a speed and a structural profile. The speed one takes under 8 hours and the structural one 8.5 hours. And there's a speed profile without input shaping, which takes 9 hours. And the quality one takes 10 hours. And I think we'll go for the speed profile with input shaping, which is 6.5 hours. And just for reference, it would be only marginally faster on a different printer, 6 hours and 8 minutes. Now, of course, I need to enable some supports. Well, this looks a bit excessive. I could perhaps clean it up a little, but you know what, let's leave it. Time went up to 10 hours and 51 minutes. So it's 4 hours for printing just the supports. Anyways, let's give it a go. Why is this button flickering? Let's load the file. Here it is. But we want a new color. Change. Unloading progress bar. It's a custom hot end for the custom extruder. So we go to 99% and then we sleep there for a while and then it goes all the way. Let's park this one correctly and load the other one. Shouldn't it? Oh, yes, you did unload it, thank you. Please remove the filament. I did remove it. I want to... okay. PLA. Press continue. Okay, now it's working. Interesting angle. Guys, it's not enough. Purge more. Purge more. Purge more. Alright, fine. It thinks it's... What's with the sound? Interesting. Alright. Let's try calibrating Z. Did you calibrate it? Well, maybe you did. Let's print the thing. Actually, you know what? How do we set this clock? Because I wanted to know what time it is. Time zone offset from where? Looks like my time zone offset is 3 hours, so perhaps it's GMT. I can't change the language. How does it know which day it is? Because it told me before which day the print finishes. I don't know. We've got the input shaper settings. There's only one choice. This is read-only. Oh, everything's read-only. Alright, that's fair. This is probably the right settings anyways. Print the bust. Yes, this one. Banging the head on the wall. Sanding, descending. Boop. There's a bit of resonance from this enclosure, so the sound is probably better if it were outside. We've got the blue LEDs. It's gonna finish the day, close to midnight. I'm gonna try not to mess with it. Interesting shape for the extruder. This part looks like it's been added later and it doesn't really fit. By the way, all the settings are the default ones. I haven't touched anything aside from supports. Alright, we're in a hurry, but there's no more vertical progress bar. I guess we'll stick with the horizontal progress bar. We've got a vertical progress bar. I'm curious how accurate this estimation is. I might have to add some sound treatment here. I mean, it's a big enclosure and there's no sound treatment at all. And it's 15 past 11 p.m. The print should be almost ready. We've got 31 minutes remaining. It's still missing the head. And it finished right on time. Here we go. It's full of supports. I might need a tool. There's some construction going on in the building and you might hear it. Oh, there's some support material stuck behind the printed part. No, I broke the print. I should have more patience. Same on the other side. Front looks good, and now the back. And now we need a base for the model. A different color. Do you find this progress bar funny? Unloading. We've got movement and then it stays at 99%. And then it finishes. Yes, I unloaded it. And I'm adding PLA. I didn't insert it yet. Let's continue. I like this filament texture. Purge more. I want to make sure we're printing with the right color. I don't want the print to start with a slightly different color, just because we wanted to save an inch of filament. 1 hour and 50 minutes. Print. Horizontal progress bar. It's got a thing at the tip. Do I clean it? Banging against the wall. There's enough space, it's not banging. Come on, that's enough banging. Descending, descending. I haven't cleaned the plate yet. I hope it still has enough adhesion. Interestingly, this time it probed a lot of the bed, but the print is small. It probed most of it this time. Are we getting to the vertical progress bar? What is this? Let's see if it gets clean. No, you didn't clean it. You did not clean it. How do I... I'm scared to touch it. I don't know how to clean it. No. Oh, this is the support. So we're a bit lucky. We're back to the vertical progress bar, which is much better than the horizontal one, maybe. See you in 2 hours. And it's finished. Here's the organic support. Let's see if it fits. Oh yes. The details are looking perfect. I have nothing to complain. This filament is a PLA blend, so it's very shiny, a bit like silk. We've got some overhangs at the back, right here. I'm now looking for some ghosting at the base. There is a tiny little bit here. I can barely see it. I'm hunting for difficult angles. Here we go. This one's the worst, I think, out of what I could find. But I can't even feel it. It's almost perfect. It's just because the filament is shiny and the light is difficult that I can see this. I can see it more here because this part is shiny. I'm really hunting for it. I think overall it would be very hard to beat this print quality. Oh, silly me, I forgot to do the introductions. Everyone, this is Thrall. I hope I'm pronouncing the name correctly. Thrall, this is everyone. By the way, guys, if you're enjoying this video, do bump into the like button. Otherwise, we risk getting Thrall here even angrier than he looks. And now let's print something else with a card. I've got here a 1-minute Benchy. Here it is. Let's see how long a 1-minute Benchy takes. Well, it's slightly smaller Benchy, about 20%. Let me see if I can zoom in further. Feels to me like it could go faster. Oh, look at it filling up. It's filling up the boat. Almost finished. It's a boat. Of course, we don't have enough cooling. It's a 1-minute bench, guys. Alright, enough with the silliness. And now I've got this coextrusion filament from 3D Jake. Progress bar. Seems like 50% means it's hot, and then it's 99%. And then it stops. And then it's 100%. And then I need to confirm. And then I want PLA. And then I continue. Yes. So many progress bars. Is the color correct? You haven't even... No. More. Yeah, that's about right. Looks like we've got some weird residue coming from above. I hope there's nothing broken. Anyways, let's print the wharf. I'm curious how this coextrusion will come out. Red and blue. We're printing the 2.5 hour hollow low poly wolf. I'm printing a low poly model because the flat surfaces are the hardest to get right. And it's finished. Look at it. It's so light. We've got whatever this color is called in the front and blue in the back. Now, looking for some harsh light angles, I can still see a little bit of motor pattern. This is very smooth, I can't even feel it with my finger. I've used the structural profile here, which is slightly slower. So this is a pattern that I've seen on my previous Prusa printers and also on my printer prototypes. It depends a lot on the motors, but I don't worry much about it nowadays. People don't normally zoom into the print to look for this kind of patterns. They just check that the print looks alright. And this one looks pretty much perfect. I can find absolutely no errors with this print. None. And it's completely hollow. Do you guys like the color change? I was worried that it would mix up the colors, but it didn't. And one last file. This is my Extruder test print. Filament guide seems effective. Keeps the filament in the right place. And it's finished. What we're looking for here is to make sure there are no visible patterns. At least not strong ones. And I can't find anything that is too strong. I still find the color change unusual. I think this looks pretty good, so I'm happy with this extruder. Alright, we've done a bit of printing with the Prusa MK4. Something I forgot to mention, the build volume is 250mm by 210 by 220. I could probably fit all this stuff on the build plate if they were all printed with the same filament. I've only been using this for a couple days, and so far I like that it prints well. It's supposed to be reliable. I might look into adding some accessories like an LED strip. And now that I've been reflecting more on it, I'd like to see some improvements. One would be to have it a touch screen instead of just the button. And I'd like the wireless support to work on it and be easier to set up. I've seen a port at the back for a wired network cable, but I have no way of having a network cable here connected to the router, so I can't test it. I also feel like there are perhaps a little bit too many prompts. Too many times I need to press the button to confirm for whatever wizard, for things that should, I believe, work easier, like changing the filament. Perhaps a little bit of nitpicking, but if the printer is on the higher shelf, you cannot read this bottom line at all. You'd have to look like this. For the prints, the only nitpick I have is that I know they changed the motors, but still there are these patterns that I can see, and I'd prefer to not have them that visible. Again, it's not really a big deal, but something that I think could be improved. And not to be confused with ghosting, I believe we've got a little bit of ghosting here. I don't know if you can see it. This could be from the speed profile. There's high acceleration, and even with input shaping it seems that we still have it. So for a speed profile I wouldn't mind this. And interestingly, as far as I can tell, this looks stronger the slower you print. Now this would have been a great printer a few years ago. Today I still think it's a good printer, and it might be your best choice depending on what you're looking for exactly, even though it is on the pricier side. A few improvements I'd like to see that other printers are starting to pretty much have nowadays by default is to have it enclosed, and I know there's an enclosure that you can purchase separately. And there are quality of life improvements that there could be, like a small camera for remote monitoring, perhaps some LED lights. I do have some mounted here, but for those who don't have them, would be a nice touch. And as I'm a big fan of multicolor printing, I would like to have the option to print multicolor here. I know that the multi-material unit version 3 is coming out, or perhaps it is out already by now. I did have version 2, but I couldn't get it to work well. I'm hoping that the new one is better, and perhaps I'll try it out. Now, Prusa is known for trying to make everything open source and encouraging people to modify their printers according to their needs. You can find a lot of mods for the previous versions of the printer. It is an advantage in this sense and makes things more transparent. On the other hand, another trend I've seen recently in the 3D printing space is moving away from this DIY model, even though the pre-assembled kit is already working out of the box. But the new trend is to see 3D printers more like appliances, so you don't have to learn as much about 3D printing in order to operate the printers or replace parts. I guess there are advantages to both ways. You'll just have to figure out which is the better approach for you. You can probably tell I'm not super excited about the printer. It's not necessarily something bad with it, it's just that this is not a groundbreaking change. It's an iteration from the previous design that we've seen for a very long time. It's a bit pricey, and it doesn't include features that new printers nowadays come with. I wish I had this printer 3 or 4 years ago, and I would have been excited back then. Now, I met Prusa personally. I know he's an awesome guy, super nice, great to hang around with and discuss. Now, I know there are a lot of challenges running a 3D printing business, especially in Europe, but the fact is that the market is moving forward very fast and it's very difficult to keep up. And I know that now Prusa XL is out, but I'm hoping that there's another secret project that Prusa is working on that is much better than both of these printers, and he's gonna hit the world hard with it. And it'll be interesting to see how the Prusa lineup will evolve. Alright, I think this was long enough. I hope it was helpful. Thanks for watching, and let me know if you'd like me to run whatever other tests on this printer. Perhaps check how it's built or make a comparison with other printers. And until then, stay awesome! Nyam 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 nyam.